Good morning, Top Fan Rivalry followers and Around the Diamond followers. It is Bill from Top Fan Rivalry. We are missing Sam today. It's going to be tough, but we're missing Sam today. He had a prior commitment, and so it's just going to be me. I know I have a face for radio, but you guys are going to have to deal with me today. We got a lot to talk about, and time is short, as you know. So let's dive right into it. So, again, Sammy, we miss you. We will see you next week. But hey, let's dive right into it. Well, maybe we won't dive right into it here in a second. We are going to try again to share this screen. And there we go. All right, we got something going now. All right, little technology issues. So on the move, Michael Taylor traded from the Brewers to the Royals. Jose Aguilar signs a one-year deal with the Athletics worth 3 million. Jeffrey Springer signs an extension. This one is interesting. Jeff McNeil signs an extension, 4 years, $50 million from the Mets. Uncle Stevie is just tossing out cash. He's letting it rain, right? Apparently, that's some of the cash that was supposed to go to Miguel Cabrera. I'm sorry, to Carlos Correa. By the way, Top Fan Rivalry followers, I appreciate the one person that DM'd me and asked me if I wanted his Carlos Correa Mets jersey. Good job in buying that a little early. So happy are we. So these are the people that are on the move. But I want to get to the topic that I think is going to be on everybody's mind. Um, and yeah, we'll see where we get with that. So free agency, again, market value is at Greinke. We got Gary Sanchez, Corey Knebel, David Peralta, Yuli Gurriel. A lot of this, Jackson Profar, a lot of these names still surprise me that they're on this list. Zach Greinke still's got something in the Petro. He's got a little bit in the tank, right? At a market value of 10.4. I don't know that we're going to get there. Gary Sanchez as a catcher, his market value, I think, might be a little underneath what he's worth, right? He may be worth a lot more than just that, but hey, what do I know? I'm not signing in front of those checks. Yuri Gurriel. I know there's a lot of Astro fans out there that are hoping that Yuli comes back. So good times had by all there. So yeah, some of these names still surprise me, like I said. And for those of you that are watching this, I'd love your comments. Sam would love your comments on these things. It's just insane what these guys, some of these guys haven't signed yet. I'm surprised that Gary Sanchez hasn't signed yet. I assume that Gary Sanchez non-signing has everything to do with some type of health issue, right? So, anyways, so those are your available free agents. Those are who's on the move, right? We've been talking about this a lot. We got spring training coming up soon, so a lot of this stuff will be worked out before the spring training starts. So let's see where we get next. Oh, perfect. Going on. I guess I didn't save this slide. Whoops. Hey, it's Saturday morning. It's early. It's not even 7 o'clock on the West Coast. I'm allowed to make a mistake every now and again. Let's not forget that Sammy made Aaron Judge a Giant long before he was a Giant. So, hey, we're even. We're even. Okay, so let me tell you what I had on this slide. So, um, the MLB Network has been doing tops of different positions, top shortstop, top whatever. I think those are very arbitrary. It's interesting to see how much chatter people are using on social media about that. Guys and gals, listen, you could have the best lineup in the world. You could have Murderers Row like the 27 Yankees. But until they step on the diamond and until they start to produce, you don't know what you have, right? There's a long season. You could see injuries. You could see all kinds of different things. So don't think that you have it until you have it. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is Rogers Field up in Toronto is going through a $300 million renovation where they're going to be moving some things around, including the fences. So I wrote down the dimensions. It's a good thing I kept my notes because I thought I had saved this slide, but hey, what can you say? The lines are now going to be 328. Left center is 368. Right center is 359. Deep center is 400. So we're moving the fences in just a little bit. right? If you're thinking right center, it's 359. I mean, that's not huge, right? And so we'll see how that all plays itself out. Now, on to the topic that I really want to talk about. First of all, congratulations to you, Scott Rolen, for being elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. You got 76.3% of the vote. Congratulations. That's a huge, huge feat. Congratulations to your teammates that played with you that now get to say, hey, I played with a Hall of Famer. It's awesome. Congratulations, Scott, on that accomplishment. In other news about that balloting, which this is the topic of this conversation, um, I'm looking. I always love the Hall of Fame balloting because I think it's very unique. I think it's political in some senses. Um, sports writers don't like you; they won't vote for you, regardless of how well you did on the field. A number of issues that go into this. So Todd Helton got 72.2% of the vote. He fell just short. Billy Wagner got 68.1%. So I think both of those guys will get in at some point. Now, Billy Wag has 2 more seasons. This is his 8th season. So he's got 2 more seasons to get there. Let's not forget, he was a dominant relief pitcher when he played. And so it wouldn't surprise me if he gets in at all. Do I think he deserves to be in? Sure, sure. He was pretty dominant, especially with his time with the Mets. Uh, and then you've got Jeff Kent, who is out. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to Todd Helton for a second. Todd Helton's just a couple votes shy. Do I think he gets in? Probably next year. He's only in his 5th year, so maybe next year or the year after, but he'll get in. Jeff Kent has done his 10. He is out. It's now up to the Veterans Committee, or when they do the different things that they're trying to do with these Veterans Committee where players vote and things. So Jeff will have the opportunity there. But he was a pretty dominant second baseman. He also, again, this is maybe one of those political things, right? Where sports writers may not have totally liked Jeff, and Jeff may have given him reasons to not. I don't know Jeff, so I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just assuming that that's the case based on how things play out. Although I will tell you this, I love the fact that he stood up to Barry Bonds. Okay, and other interesting topics, A-Rod went up just a percentage or two, I think. It's interesting that we're seeing him start to climb, especially with the where they did the new ballots where the players had voted, the contemporary era, I should say, where you had Curt Schilling on there and Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. I think what baseball's trying to do is they're trying to take the stigma of the steroid era away and out of that type of thing. And do I think A-Rod's going to get in? Probably at some point. Um, he's rebuilt his image by being a color commentator. He's all around everything. So, I mean, for the most part, do I think A-Rod's going to get in? Sure. Will it be in that 10-year span? Maybe, maybe not. Will it be a contemporary era thing? Maybe, maybe not. But I think he'll get in. He's got the numbers to get in. If he didn't have steroids involved, he would be in first ballot. So he's got the numbers to get in. Now, let's talk about who's on the first ballot next year, which this is going to be an interesting debate. And this is where I miss you, Sam. Sam, I miss you. And you're going to laugh at me when you see this slide and you realize I didn't save my goings on. But hey, we're going to do what we can. So next year, first ballot people that are on for the first year: Chase Utley, Joe Mauer, Adrian Beltre. Okay, now do I think Adrian Beltre is a first ballot Hall of Famer? Yes, I do. He had a phenomenal career with Texas. He was getting started with the Dodgers. He had a couple of decent seasons in Boston, but he had a phenomenal career with Texas. When Texans think of a third baseman, when the Ranger fans think of a third baseman, they think of Adrian Beltre. Okay, Adrian Beltre was pretty phenomenal at that point. So, do I think that he and Elvis Andrews and he just playing with each other and things like that? If you haven't gone to YouTube and put Adrian Beltre funny moments, you need to do that. Do I think that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer? Yes, I just answered that question. Now, I had a conversation with somebody offline the other day, and they think Joe Mauer is a first ballot Hall of Famer for the Twins. And I can make arguments both ways. Do I think that Joey gets in? Absolutely, I think Joey gets in. Do I think he gets in first ballot? We'll see. We'll see how that plays itself out. Numbers wise, does he deserve to be first ballot? Yes, based on where he played as a catcher, and then some time as DH and at first base. But yes, does Joe Mauer deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. That same individual that I was talking to offline, we were talking about Chase Utley. Does Chase Utley deserve to get it? And he said, absolutely not. Um, Now, I don't know if that's just because he doesn't like Chase Utley. I don't know how that plays itself out. But Chase Utley is, you know, when you think about dominant second baseman of that time frame, he was your guy, right? In Philadelphia, had a lot of success with him at second and Jimmy Rollins at short. So could I see Chase in? Yes. Do I see him as a first ballot guy? No. If he's a first ballot guy, then that's going to be something unique. Right. And then, of course, in 2025, you have Ichiro, and he's first ballot. So, again, congratulations to Scott Rolen. I love talking about Hall of Fame balloting. Congratulations to Scott Rolen. Congratulations to the guys that are getting close, like Todd Helton. And again, do I think that Todd Helton deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Of course I do. Right? Do I think that Billy Wag deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Does A-Rod? Yes. Now, all these people aren't first ballot guys, but Adrian Beltre, I think, will be. I'm guaranteeing that Ichiro will be as well. So that's what I got for you for the going on. So we got new dimensions and a huge renovation in Toronto. We've got the Hall of Fame, and then we've got the what I'm going to call the top 10, shortstops and things from the MLB network, which is very arbitrary, but it is what it is, right? So, Sam, I wish you were here so you could give me your thoughts. I miss you, my good friend. All right, going on. Let's talk about the podcast schedule for this week. It is a phenomenal schedule this week. Okay, so we got Jen and Nick, who are Padre fans. They were so much, they had me laughing during that episode. Oh my word. They're phenomenal people. And they both recognize when their team is good and when their team hasn't been good. A true baseball fan can accept when their team's not awesome, right? So Jen and Nick will be on. I will tag them in their Instagram so that you know who they are, so you know who to follow. Marie, a first-time guest Dodger fan, she's got a phenomenal story as well. She grew up in London, England. London, England. Okay, and she will be on the podcast Tuesday morning. A great London accent, great story. She met a guy, she came out here. He had season tickets going back to his grandfather at Dodger Stadium when the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn. They're phenomenal seats. It was just a great interview. Marie did fantastic. Big brother Jake returned into the clubhouse again. We this one was fun because he just kind of shot the breeze with me. We talked about the Padres, we talked about the Dodgers and how they could be rivals. We also talked about a number of different things that are going on in the Dodgers group. Were we surprised about certain people leaving? Were we not surprised? It'll be interesting to hear what he says about the WBC. Pay attention to what he says about the WBC. Pay attention also to what he says about the surprises of who left and who didn't leave. That's a great podcast. Brian and I will be filming a first-time guest, a Red Sox fan, will be filming on Thursday. I'm sorry, it'll be dropping on Thursday. We're filming on Monday. And on Tuesday, I'm filming with Shane, who's been on before. Shane is a great guy, a huge Cardinal fan. So look for these podcasts to come on. And also, too, for Utah Fan Rivalry followers, by all means, if you feel as though you want to be on a podcast or a live, reach out to us. We want to hear from everybody. We still have 4 or 5 teams that we don't have representation for. So as you're listening to this, if you know fans that are Colorado Rocky fans, Arizona Diamondbacks fans, the Kansas City Royals fans, please reach out to me. I would love Miami Marlin fans. I would love to have an opportunity to interview some of these people. So that's what's on the podcast schedule. You don't want to miss it. And now, also to Top Fan Rivalry followers, I want to thank you when it comes to the podcast. We are having the best month we've ever had with the podcast, and the numbers are absolutely insane. We're going to have 20,000 downloads probably by the end of the month. That's phenomenal, meaning that episodes have been listened to from people that aren't bots and listen to full episodes. So I want to thank you for listening to the podcast and being part of it. Now, finally, what do we have? We have new articles up in the locker room. So I posted an article about how Reggie became Mr. October. We've got a number of articles coming from fans. I just talked about podcasts. We got new merchandise coming out. I'm not going to let you know what it is yet, but we've got some stuff on order right now. And when it's in, I'm going to let you know it's going to be phenomenal. Okay. Uh, Photo gallery. So we just updated our photo gallery with all of our top fan community, or at least the majority of it. If you don't feel like you're part of a community with top fan, go to that photo gallery, just look around. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, I want to thank you for that. Now, finally, for those of you listening to this, go to the topfanrivalry.com website and click on that button right there in the front that says watch parties, watch event parties, or event watch parties, something like that. Click onto that button. We've got places booked in Southern California, right, for Dodgers Angels, and for also Angels A's. We've got places that we're looking at in San Francisco and also in San Diego. We've got a place that we're working on getting booked in Phoenix when I'm out for um, spring training. We've got a place already booked in Atlanta, Georgia for a watch party when the Braves are playing the Phillies. That's going to be so much fun. If you're in the Atlanta area, you do not want to miss this at all. Okay, so we got that booked. We're working on getting a location booked in Boston. We're working on getting a location booked in New York and in Philadelphia. So we're also looking at places like Pittsburgh and a few other places. But these watch parties are going to be so much fun. Top Fan Rivalry is going to host them. There might be appetizers involved. There might be drink tickets involved. There might be a small cover. Who knows, right? I'm not going to announce exact all the details yet, but I want to say thank you. I'm so excited that you guys are following us, that you are communicating with us. I started this so that we would have this type of community, and I am so very, very grateful for it. So, from the bottom of my heart, top fans, I am thankful that this has occurred. I'm looking forward to seeing what you think in uh, the the locker room and on the site. There's some changes going on the site, which is phenomenal. So look forward to that. And as Sam would say, who we absolutely miss, Sam, I miss you greatly for this episode. But as Sam would say, we'll see you on the field. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.